today's shamanic oracle reading. We're back to shamanic oracle readings. The channeling healing light within was a different title. I was just trying something new. So we're back to shamanic oracle readings. Today it's about we'll see what it's about. I'm just gonna start. Yes, raising the soul frequency, raising the vibration. Building a field of grace around you. Calling upon the archangels, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Ezekiel, calling on them for protection, for healing. I'm sorry, there will be some interruptions from my 3 service animals. Animals, they are both. They're cedar animals, and PTSD dogs, Today we are healing the soul, we are healing the monad, we are bringing the body into equilibrium, we are healing the DNA, we are healing the brain from something called fissure. This is a daytime guided meditation. Please listen to this in the day. And this can be listened to again and again. I'm saying the codes for you to be able to listen to it again and again now. It's about feeling today's star codes help access our miracle frequency codes, healing frequency codes. They are manifestation codes and Mary Magdalene codes. We're doing, it is also etheric rewiring and rewiring the brain chemistry in the brain. And full physical healing, heart expansion, allow you to fully feel your heart and heal it. I know some of us in the field are having heart attacks. I'm going to pray for you and heal the heart from heart attacks. Yes, 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 you have full restoration. Yes, yeah, oh me, any, okay, yes, yes, yeah, oh yeah, me, yes, yeah, oh me, any, oh yeah, yes, yeah, me, yes, yes, oh yeah, yes, yeah, oh me, any, yes, 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 yeah, oh yeah, I mean, yes, yeah, oh yeah. I have the purest intentions just to heal you and your frequencies, your vibrations, your aura. Today we will be working on the aura from your vision quests and your plant medicine that rips and tears through your aura, which really heal today. Yeah, 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 yes, yeah, man, yes, yeah, yeah, yes, yeah, oh, man, yes, yeah, man, yes, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, can't, yes, yeah, yes, yeah, okay, yeah, I miss, yes, yeah, bad, I can't, yeah, I am, yes, yeah. Hamboro, hambara, hambia, siasa, yasia, kuyania, yes, I am So, a little bit about death. When you die, you get a choice. You can choose to live again, or you can choose death. You get to choose. You get to choose. And I choose to live again because I haven't completed my tasks here on earth and I have so much to live for. So I choose life again. But you get a choose, and sometimes you still enter the corridor of life, as I like to call it. And you get to spend time with your loved ones. Yes, you do. But don't linger there too long. Only stay there for a few seconds, because the longer you spend there, the more likelihood that there will be issues with your visage, with your body. And the more likelihood that you'll be stuck there and you won't get to choose to live again. So what I recommend is, as soon as you get asked, do you want to live again? Say yes. And if you go into the corridor of life, don't linger. Ask to go back to life. Ask, hey, can I go back to life? And you are the light. Remember that. You'll see a bright, bright light. Go towards the light. Hold on to it for as long as you can. And hold on to the light for as long as you can. And don't talk to the spirits and the energies. You'll see someone might appear and say, I'm the Archangel of Death. And it's not the Archangel of Death. Ask to speak to your God. I always say that ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala appears. And I speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helps me through it. And that's what I recommend for you. But if you're not Muslim, maybe your God is Yahweh. Maybe your God is the earth. Maybe you don't have a God. But that's what I do. I pray to my God. I say the Shahada and I speak to Allah. And Allah says, where do you wish to go? And I say, back to life, please. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts me back inside my body and tells me, you just died, but you came back to life. And I feel ever so grateful. I'm not going to say how many times I've died. I'm not going to tell you about my death stories right now. They're not near-death experiences. I actually do die. I've been to heaven. That's where I see my ancestors, my adopted ancestors. I haven't met my biological ancestors. They're very evil. That's what I've been told by my God. He says they're very evil. You don't want to meet them. You want to stay with your adopted ancestors, he says. They're very good people. These codes will repair your genetics because of chromosome splicing, DNA splicing, as I mentioned earlier. From experimentation, MILAB abduction. Should this be a MILAB edition? I got a yes. This should be a MILAB edition. Okay. What is MILAB? Well, MILAB is secret space programs by the German, Dutch, French, and American Army. Forthright scientists. We're talking about Nazi Germany right now. They're still alive, by the way. They made themselves immortal using robot machinery, AI, and aliens. They made themselves part alien, part cyborg, part machinery, part AI to make themselves immortal. And they experiment on beings such as myself. They like to experiment on trans people. Anyone that's alternative or different. Anyone that's been to a mental hospital more than 18 times. Those with kidney failure, liver failure, those with heart transplants. They target and they target negative aliens first, then positive aliens, starseeds and indigos, particularly indigos, because indigos have lower formed souls and higher formed souls. They have more than one soul, they have two. And they are very much into the lower formed soul because it's treacherous, it's sad, it's depressed, it has those angsty feelings. So it's really easy for them to tempt them into suicide attacks and taking their life and getting into plant medicine, super deep into plant medicine where they take it like every day. So it's easy to get them into rehab. So if you've been to a rehab more than 4 times, you're a MILAB abductee. You've been abducted by MILAB. And what they do is you go to the mental hospital, you go to rehab, you go to the emergency room, and you think you're in America, you think you're in the mental hospital, you think you're in San Francisco or wherever you are, Colorado, in Switzerland, wherever you think you are, but you've been abducted and you're on Mars. You're actually on Mars, and you're in tiny cubicles. You're in these tanks, and you're plugged in, and you're getting these inertia. You're getting these false memories inside your brain, and you're getting tested. You're basically a lab rat. Let me move somewhere quieter. You're basically a lab rat being tested and going through these experiments, and they're just putting you through all these obstacles, and they mark you as a certain thing. I was marked as a tracker, a breeder, and a hybridized being. So they were really interested in my genetics, so they just kept drawing my blood. At the emergency room, they drew my blood twice a day. I had to, in my sleep, hold on. Let me go somewhere quieter. Some people are just so noisy right when I start channeling. They know I'm making a video and they just want to be noisy. But I forgive them and I bless them on their path. That's all I can do. It's just you need healing. You need this. But you're in denial right now, so sorry, bruh. You're in denial, bruh. You're a bruh. You're totally a bruh. What makes you a bruh is you're in denial. And you're still a love, but you're a bruh love. Okay, so you get incepted these memories, right? And they're not your memories, but you start to believe them. And then they put voices inside your head. And then they rape you with aliens, different aliens. And you have all these children and they steal them from you. I had triplets and they stole them from me. And all this wild stuff. What else do? They homogenize you. They take away your identity. And they make you feel surreal. Close the door. They make you feel surreal, you're not a real being. And then they Minecraft you. Mind control. And they make you think of other beings and say, you're just like them. Act like them. You're crazy. You're insane. You don't have a brain. You don't have an inkling of a thought. Be just like them. Go buy the same bag. Look just like them. You're just like them. You're just like them. And it's no, I'm not. Just because we're both queer doesn't mean I'm just like them. Just because I'm non-binary and they're non-binary and we're best friends doesn't mean we're the same people. Come on now. And then they torture you for not for hours. It feels like millennials. Millenniums. It feels like millenniums that they torture you for. And really it's days. You're there for 11 days, 9 days, 7 days, 6 days, 1 day. And it feels like you're going through different timelines. and they take everything away from you. Like they make you have breakdowns, psychosomatic breakdowns that last even after you leave. And so you end up like tearing apart your family or tattooing your whole face when your mom tells you no tattoos and accepts one tattoo on your face. So you end up completely destroying your family line like I did. And then like what else happens? Sorry, there's a bunch of people wearing portal blockers, which I don't believe in portals, but like they're wearing portal blockers on them. So I have to like do stuff to make sure I can block it out. Isn't it fun here? It's so much fun here. We live in this amazing neighborhood. Yes, yeah, muy ni area yes, yeah. Ahombe ya kiania, yes, yeah, hoya. Ya moya nia yes, yeah, ohaya. Akumbia, yes, yeah, yes, yeah, hoya, yes, yeah. These are MILAB codes to free you from MILAB and make you realize if you are a MILAB abductee and how to free you from MILAB and to find a way out and to make sure you never end up in MILAB again and to release you from MILAB frequencies and MILAB attacks. Yes, she's my protector. Yes, okay, she's a shaman. Yes, she's a healer. Yes, okay, she's a protector. Yes, okay, she's Zahra. Please pray for Zahra. Her hips hurt a lot. Yes, okay, she's but like, oh, if you're in prison, if you've been to prison more than twice, you're probably a MILAB abductee. Oh yeah, and if you've been to like juvie more than 3 times, you're probably a MILAB abductee. I'm cooking basmati rice. I'm just saying what I'm cooking to entice you to eat some food. If it's been more than 3 or 4 hours, please go eat. Unless if you're fasting. And then trackers, they make us like run after people that they're hunting down. They make you think that you're in this like special program where you're like undercover. This is so weird. So let me tell you the story. I thought I was in a secret program run by the military, and I thought this is going to be really weird. I thought musicians were in it too, like certain musicians. I'm not going to say names. I thought they were in it too. And I thought, and that like we were like watching for terrorists, like terrorists in the country, because like, you know, the biggest war right now is like it's the Red Scare. It's like we're looking out for communists right now. I don't know if you know this, but the Republicans are really scared of communism and leftists and anarchists, and I'm like a huge leftist and anarchist, by the way. And like, so I was undercover and I'm a leftist and anarchist, but they still took me into the program, and I had to wake up at 3 a.m. every day and just check the neighborhood and make sure there weren't any leftists or communists like wandering around my neighborhood. And then I had to report on my family, like who's secretly a terrorist in my family. And then like I had to check on Twitter like who's active right now and like who's not. And like there's certain musicians that are always active at 3 a.m. and why aren't they active at 3 a.m. tonight and all this stuff. And I was like in the I'm working for the army, and it was a secret program run by MILAB. And I had to wake up at 3 a.m. every day, and then I had to wake up at 6 a.m. Like I'd go back to bed, and then I'd wake up at 6 a.m. and then I would check again like Twitter, and then I would go back to bed, and then I'd check at 9 a.m. and then I'd go back to bed, and I'd stay up after that. But sometimes I'd go back to bed and wake up at 11, and I'd check Twitter again. And it was the weirdest thing ever, and I was in it for like 9 months. I was in this secret program, and they would like tell us like okay, who was active when, and like who's a terrorist in your family, and then they knew I was Muslim and that like I was going to the masjids, going for Fajr prayer and stuff, because I love Fajr prayer. It's like my favorite prayer of the day. Like at 4 a.m. It's really fun. And they were just like, who's active in terrorism, and like who's a terrorist in your family right now, and like what are they doing, and like all this stuff. And I finally got out of the program once I started my antipsychotics. Like once I got to like 800 milligrams of Seroquel, I got out of the. I had to like do something else to get out of the program, and I got in the program. Listen, it was a curse from a tarot deck. I'm gonna tell you the name of the tarot. I hope I don't get sued. It's the Marvel Tarot deck. The Marvel Heroes. There's a curse on it. If you just hold the deck and open the deck, it makes you think that it makes you choose, like, I don't know if you hear voices or if it's everyone, but it makes you choose, do you want to be Asian or a double agent? And I chose to be a double agent. And I didn't open the tarot. I didn't use the tarot. I just opened the deck, and it just made me choose. And then the curse started. And that's when I entered the super secret program run by the military and run by MILAB. And it was really scary. So please don't get that Marvel deck. I don't use any Marvel tarot or any Disney tarot, because I'm super, like, you think I'm superstitious maybe, but I think there's curses in all of them. So that's my story. That's my MILAB story. Oh, let me go check my price. But yeah, so MILAB, super evil. They play all these mind games on you. And well, I don't know what else to tell you other than they're super evil. They do mind control. They tell you everyone has a weapon on them, like everyone's packing, everyone has a gun, and if there's fireworks outside, no, it's gunshots. It has to be gunshots, and all the gunshots are pointed at you. They all want to fire at you. Everyone wants to kill you. And if someone's driving, like someone's just driving, right? No, they're following you. They're following you. Okay, so now you know about MILAB. We can get back into the star codes. And these are to protect you from MILAB, and to protect you from mind control, and to protect you from that program that I told you about where it makes you tell on people. And like, I don't even know if I'm going to release this because it makes me sound terrible. But this is the truth. This was my life. I'm so glad I'm out of that program, and I had to do a lot of prayer, and I had to do a lot in order to get out of that program, and a lot of spell work too, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone, so please don't pick up any Marvel Tarot. And if you get stuck in Marvel, not Marvel, in MILAB, don't be scared. There's a way out, okay? This is the way out. You listen to this. This is a cleansing. Yes, yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh yeah, yes, yeah. Yes, yeah. Yes, yes,